Most of them nice spot out there. I'm very surprised that Priscilla.
I was just happy.
Oh, you're welcome.
No, my buddies.
Oh, okay. There was a sign under house and I caught it out of the corner of my eyes and drove by. I'm gonna ride back around to see who's birthday, I'll see if I didn't catch it. So Dave can't make it?
Dave will not be here, and it looks like I'm going to be on, there she is, virtual.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, good, she's able to make it.
Sorry. I wish I was there in person. I'm in Chicago on a business meeting, so I'm gonna join you this way.
Thank you for.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. It's good to see everybody.
How's Chicago?
Oh my goodness. I don't even see outside of my classroom. And my hotel. That's pretty much it. Ugh. How's it there? I heard it was cold.
Windy out here than it is in Chicago.
Can you hear us okay? We have the speakers in a different location. Is it hard to hear?
Yeah, no, it's okay.
All right, I'll bring them over.
Yeah, it seems pretty clear.
Dave's not coming tonight? Dave is not.
Emily.
Quiz, fill in the blanks.
Kathy's trying to steal it.
Oh.
So you do have quorum. Yep.
Yes, we do. I was nervous.
Okay.
But I didn't think you could stay, that's fine, just Dave, okay?
I think so. I think we just have a conflict.
Okay. So it's 7:00, 7:02, do we want to get started?
Please.
Like to call to order our November 12th Park and Rec Commission meeting. The meeting is being recorded and available by Zoom for anybody that would like to join us, as well as those in the room. We have two sets of minutes to approve, one from earlier as well as last month's minutes. My only comment is on the one from last month, we noted that the mayor was in attendance, and do we need to note that the Susan Petroni, Director of Communication, was there too? Okay. That was my only thing that stuck out when I saw them. Gentlemen, would anybody like to make a motion on that? Regarding, approving? We have to, yeah, we have to do them separately.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to approve the September minutes.
Second.
Second, okay, roll call.
In the first chair.
Pizzacco, yes.
Sure.
Zaka, great.
Colson, yes.
Hawk, yes,
Great idea.
good. Now the second set,
I'll make that motion as well to approve the October minutes.
okay,
I
I'll
was
second them. All yours, Jose.
Jose will second,
I was
okay,
second.
Jose seconds it, and roll call,
Pizzacco, yes.
Colson, yes.
Hawk, yes.
Great, yes.
Wonderful. Public participation, we have nobody in the room, I mean, nobody from the public in the room. And anybody, we have people, anybody you'd like to speak who's attending? No, okay, great, so we'll go on to, oh, somebody put their hand up, oh, both did. Okay, why don't we go with Leslie? Leslie?
Thank you, Chair. This is Councilor Leslie White Harvey. I'm just kind of reaching out. I got some complaints about trash and mattresses being left at Arlington Street Park, and some of the concerns around that. I think I came to your meeting last time were people wanting cameras placed at the playground. I'm very concerned about having our minors videotaped and captured, and families have reached out in terms of worry about their children being videotaped. So I'm definitely not a proponent of having cameras in the parks, and also thinking about equity. Are we putting them, if you're thinking about putting them, if we're doing them in all the parks? So that's some of the concerns I've heard from residents. And if you can shed some light on that, if that's something that's in the works, because we definitely need to like speak more on that. And that's a big concern for me in terms of real equity. I know you guys are doing a great job with taking care of the trash there. I did share that with the community that you typically, with your staff, do Mondays and I thought it was Sundays, whatever the day you said it was. So I did share that with the community. I obviously don't go in the parks often because I don't have little ones, and I know it's open to anyone, but I've passed there and it looks great. I know other groups are helping clean it up, so I want to thank you for that. And but I'm really, really concerned about this conversation going around the community about putting cameras where our minors are supposed to be having a good time. There is a concern for a mattress being there every month or something. I'm not sure what's going on with the police, DPW, who can figure out what's going on over there without subjecting our families to cameras put in the park. We love the park. It's a wonderful place. So thank you for that. And
So I'll just share with you two things. One is that November 2nd, KFB did go out there with a bunch of city volunteers, and they did go out and help to clean up and stuff. It was part of their Neaten Up November effort, so we do appreciate their help. In terms of a mattress, I don't know if you've physically seen a mattress there. We have not. We've got people out there 3-4 days a week, checking on stuff, but it may be at one of the neighboring houses, but I'm not sure if it's at the park, but we can certainly look and try to, continue to monitor that. In terms of cameras, we've been having requests from police and other groups to install cameras in a variety of different areas. So it's already in Cushing. It's going into Arlington. It's going into Mary Dennison. It's going into other parks as well. It's here at Bowditch, at Learnard's Pond. We have a camera over there. So I think the precedent's already been set that no one can access the video who shouldn't be accessing it. It's the police that they don't even monitor it. It's only if there's an issue, we can go back and look at the tape and figure out, because there's been so much vandalism in the parks. Learnard's Park, especially in the summer, has had a ton of activity after dark that's been problematic, and the neighbors have begged for help on that. So it is an effort that's happening in many of the parks. It'll probably be in many more as we roll out new projects. But like I said, no one has the ability to get on there and monitor unnecessarily. It's purely for review.
Are the cameras police? Are they oriented by the police? So it's really, she should address that to the police?
No, there are cameras,
Right, there are
and we have access to the footage, as the police do as well. But we would only use that if if we knew there was an issue before. We had to look at the footage to see what happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I want to clarify. So there's a timeline for it to go into Arlington, and it would be great if I would love to know where they are already and if there's a timeline and it belongs to
You know what,
you and
Leslie,
the
why don't we,
police.
in interest of time, there'd probably be a better conversation for you to have directly with the professional staff.
But it is going in Arlington, yeah.
And that way,
And it's elsewhere too, Chair. I just want to know if it was elsewhere too.
Skate parks,
Yeah, the skate park,
Veterans Park.
right? Veterans Park, it'll be going into Mary Dennison. It's at Learnard's Pond. It's at Bowditch.
I mean, it's a reality of life.
They're all over the place, yeah.
Pushing.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
I could meet with you, Jim, offline if you'd like, because I'd like a list of that so I can share that with the community so we're aware where they're going to go. So thank you for your time on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more thing, let me add about the mattresses. At the end of the month, when people are moving from one apartment to the next, there's always their furniture. It's across the street from the park, but somehow the neighbors bring it down to the sidewalk of the park. Every single month. This is not, I take pictures, I have pictures for the past 7 months, and this is happening. It's nothing to do with the park, but the stuff is left across the street and then put back over there.
Like Brighton Christmas.
Yeah, and most
One
of the
of the
mattresses that are left there, they have, you can probably imagine what they have on. I mean, there's all kind of insects and animals, I don't really want to name them,
Yeah.
but that's why they leave them over there, so the city can actually flex. A lot of these people don't have cars to go drop them, or don't want to pay the $25, $30 to do it, and what do? They drop them on the sidewalk. But it has nothing to do with park and recreation of the park. It's just, it's a blind zone to drop it off because no one can see there. Having the camera there, that's going to stop that too. So.
Thank
Thank
you. Liz?
Yeah, sure, I'll make this quick. First, thanks for Parks Maintenance in particular. They've been doing a great job as we report things through ClickFix, to get those weird little things that we find fixed. So thank you so much for that. I ran into a couple Rotarians at their annual pancake breakfast. They mentioned that they thought that their life preserver that they donated to Washington Beach would end up being go inside or go into storage for the season. I said I had no idea, but they probably need to know what's happening with that. I don't know if the park's intended for that to go inside the building or to go someplace else, or to stay out all season. They told me they do not believe it's made of a plastic material that will bear the winter very well. So just food for thought there.
It's a 4-season thing, cabinet that it's in, and I mean, the whole idea is when people aren't around, people have access to a life-saving device. So
Okay.
even if it's the winter and they fall through the ice, we still want that piece available for safety reasons. So
Okay,
no, that's meant to be out there all the time. I did explain that to the person I was working with. I'm not sure if that message
Got to the rest of the club.
to all of the Rotary or not, but I'm happy to talk to whoever over there. Maybe I'll drop them a line tomorrow.
I'll pass that along to them. They probably weren't aware it was a 4-season container for it. I'm curious where residents will be able to see 325 celebration location. So obviously Parks is going to get hit with a lot of things happening on park property for the 325 celebration. Will it have its own page? Where can we go to see that? I know it's really early, but I'd like to know where that's going to go. Interestingly, with the cameras, I have a different question, which is where is the policy posted? Just so I can take a look at it. I personally think it's great that there's camera, so I'm on a different page than Leslie. In particular, I'm interested in whether or not we can start getting some data off of that in terms of human beings who have come to a park, numbers, because there's, counting of people by a clipboard during the 7.5-week season at Washaycom. When there's no swimming, then you have this false idea of how few people are coming to Washaycom. Whereas if we were at least getting counts of people coming to Washaycom, I think it would be a lot more reflective of the use of that property. So that kind of data, not, it's sort of, what do they call it? Anonymized, right? I think that would be highly useful. And then I'm wondering if there's always standard signage, which you see at properties like this property is under, video surveillance. So it's very clear. And I don't know if that's in the policy, but I don't remember ever seeing that particular signage going up. So I think that's helpful for the public to understand. You see that at water parks and other, corporate properties. They certainly put it up there front and center that you are being videotaped to control behaviors better. So I'm just wondering what our standard sign is. Is it in 3 languages? Where does it go? That kind of thing. So I'm just kind of curious of where I can find that kind of info. Thanks.
Sure. So we're working on that. As you noticed, there probably isn't a sign out there right now, but we can put something out there. Smile, you're on camera, or something to that effect. We do have for the 325th. That effort is being championed out of the mayor's office, and they have a committee together. All that information, I think, or they're pulling it together. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, thanks.
Okay, all right, yeah, they're still pulling that information together, out of the mayor's office, so.
Liz, there was an update, excuse me, Jim, there was an update, Liz, on Sunday's, email that Susan sends out. There was an update of where they are on the 325, and it kind of gave you some information, so if you have access to that.
Great, thanks. I'll double check on that. I would say.
They're sort of peripherally invited to the table, but we're not organizing all of the.
Oh, I know, you're a victim, you're a victim of this, yes. I would say before, somebody decides that Smile, you're on camera, I get that, and I kind of like the lighthearted approach to it. I think perhaps the message or the communication, whatever's on that sign, needs to be really thought through. Where's the data going? Who has access to it? All of that, the wording on that needs to be, I think, really consistent and very helpful to make sure people understand this is a public piece of property. It's being done for this. It's not available to anybody except whoever, all of that stuff I think needs to be thought through. And you don't want a novel on the sign, but I think it's helpful that people understand, where did this come from? Who's controlling this? And as always, our translation. So I know that makes it harder because it makes it a bigger sign or a separate sign or whatever. But that's where I think it's really great to come up with draft verbiage and run that by the PIO. There could be legal ramifications for having something on the sign or not having something on the sign. So that's a good use, I think, of PIO's time to make sure it's something this important is spot on and doesn't get us in trouble, and also is strong communication to the community. So that's my 2 cents on that. I'll go on mute. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Liz. Okay, we're on to the superintendent recreation report. I'm doing this.
I am Allison Elliott, Deputy Director, and I'm standing in for Elaine. I have her report here. Numbers and programs from October 16th to November 11th. We had 80 registrants since our last meeting. She does note that the number appears low just because a lot of the programs are already up and running. Winter programming is currently happening. We are adding, we're listing programs as they are set up. Visit framinghamrec.com for a full up-to-date listing. Challenges. Our program numbers, even though only a few of them, programs have had to be canceled due to low enrollment, the numbers are still not what they used to be. Elaine will be sitting down with her staff to come up with a plan on how to better distribute the information on new programs and help spread the word. Positives and new initiatives. The division participated in the city's spectacular event at Nevins Hall on Tuesday, October 15th. The team dressed as characters from Inside Out. The official count from the city was that between 700 and 750 people attended.
Nice.
It's a good event. Pumpkins in the Park was held on October 19th. We had over 110 children register, with over 250 people on site for the event. We would like to thank our maintenance department for all their help setting up the program, and especially for providing and driving the hayride. We also want to thank the Lions Club for offering refreshments, the mayor and first lady for attending, as well as our city partners, Library Bookmobile, Police Department, Fire Department, and Rooster Ambulance for helping spread some ghoulish cheer. Start Smart programs have been very successful this season. Added flag football to the fall lineup along with soccer. Both classes were a huge hit. Skate lessons are going great. 2 lessons so far. Everyone is having a fantastic time. The adult class is a huge hit, and we'll be running another next session. Working with the new skate shop owners has been a seamless transition. And lastly, we're working on assembling spring and summer schedule, and hope to have the majority of it completed before the new year. In other news, Elaine, Kaylee, and Anthony took a class last month, passed their exams, and are all now certified youth sports administrators. We look forward to hear about what they learned and how to incorporate their new training into our operations. And last month, we met with Jeff Tomiano, a recreation coordinator for the city of Worcester. to talk about the management of their pools and beaches. And so we talked with him. So we're gonna continue researching and see if that'll work for us next season.
Good. Questions, commissioners?
No?
Jeannie, any questions?
Nope.
Would you like to make a motion to accept the report?
I will make the motion to accept the report.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call.
Zako, yes?
Olson, yes?
Hawk, yes.
Parade, yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Will you take a quick look? Anybody have any questions? No. Real quick, Arlington Street, they changed out the lights last week. And they are putting in, well, I think Monday, put in the ones that were contracted to put in. Took the other two out, one will be installed at Butterworth, the other one's gonna be installed in Irving Street. Cameras are all right there for Arlington Street, they've been in here for over a year. It's just waiting for the poles to be changed up, that's why the cameras weren't put on the temporary poles, but we will be putting them in. As you can see, we're pretty much starting to shut down most of our systems today, we blew out the splash pad area in Arlington Street. There are no mattresses in Arlington Street. I haven't seen any. There's one set over at Butterworth. When we were over there today, someone from that apartment building to the left of our property decided to dump their mattress and box spring on our property. So it's consistently happens. It's not something new.
That happens, construction contractors will just drop stuff. in.
So we have someone dumping
Just dump stuff.
consistently
Yeah.
at the center common. We've adjusted another camera that is there to try to find out the license plate of the person who keeps dumping at the Village Hall barrel. So cameras that we have out there, we very rarely use them. Only when we're trying to find out someone might have done something, or in the sense that when they stole the wooden soldier,
Mhm.
we were able to catch that and find out who that was and things like that. But for
Yeah.
the most part, we don't do it. Tree pruning, we did a lot more tree pruning back at Butterworth so that the light that we have being installed there is gonna reflect towards the parking area where we had some concern from some of the older pickleball players that were concerned about their safety at night because it was very dark there. Today, we got recognized for the flag disposal boxes that Keith Tech built at a little ceremony down at the memorial building put on by the Veterans Council.
Nice.
Pumpkins in the Park, another successful event. Right now, we're working with the people at Pratt Street fencing installation. And there was some talk about, I have to do some work to remove some of the debris in the middle of the gardens, and so the contractor can have access to the area. Irrigation repairs in numerous and many areas, we had a lot of area problems this year, and a lot of them we were able to see once got into September with the lack of rain. You could see where some of the irrigation heads weren't performing like they should. So there's been, plus we still have ongoing issue with the contractor when he ripped out the irrigation up front. I was in conversations last week with him. He's supposed to be out this week. We'll see what's happening with that. We're still working on our playground inventories. I don't know much about it other than what I've seen, so I put the Walnut Street pathway. I think Allison can talk about that better than I can.
I'll give a little.
Or Jim can. Mary Dennis is ongoing. We meet every Tuesday, and that's going fairly quick. It's up to date. Everything's going well. The Washaken Rain Garden Bridge is installed and completed. Looks really nice. We're still doing a lot of brush clearing in Newmer site. We work on the capital budget, and the Veterans Day was successful on Monday. Staffing, I still have 2 open positions. I have 3 workers on comp. And I'm doing that along with vacation. It's hunting season right now, and I have few employees who like to hunt, so they save up their vacation time for now. But basically, we're doing mostly is leaf pickup and grass removal. We've taken over 110 loads of leaf material up to the leaf dump as of today.
Wow.
So in cubic yards, I have to do the equation, but by the time I left, the truck's a 6 by 8 by 6. So if anybody knows how to do cubic yardage, we've done 100 of those. And that's not even, we're just about halfway, maybe there. So every time that we go to like a place like Butterworth, and I go back two days later, it's like we hadn't been there. Same thing over at the Little League, same thing at Arlington Street, all our parks.
And there's a list of people, requesting the cemetery needs help, the facilities needs help, everybody needs a hand.
I don't have the staff, I have the equipment, I just don't have as much staff.
Mhm.
But we do, Danforth Park, we do the whole roadway all the way down too. A lot of people blow all the leaves into the walls of some of the properties, so we have to go back after that. But like I said, we've done over 110 loads, 6 by 8 by 8, you can figure it out, we'll tell you how many tons.
Google
Anybody have any questions?
GTP is the answer to everything in my
I
world.
was just gonna make a comment.
Engineering.
Going back to the cameras in Arlington, it's gonna help us with the trash. A lot of people from the neighborhood
I don't
come
think
in.
it is, I really don't think, I've seen the usage of the park.
Yeah,
And when you see children open up their water bottle, take the cap and just throw it, and then twist the knot and throw it to the side. It's all driven by the oversight of the people who are there, monitoring their children, and it's just not happening.
yeah, some
I
of,
watch it, and it's not, then the water balloons, with hundreds of water balloons.
yeah, some of the neighbors actually walk in with boxes of beer or empty beer or bags and just pour it into the trash can, the neighbors. Not even people in the park.
I'm aware of that too, but it's the stuff on the ground.
Yeah.
It's, the lighting of the leaves, in the basketball court. They lit the leaves on fire, discolored the
New finish.
floor, the new finish and, partial defense, yeah, they pulling all my green straps out of the fence.
I couldn't understand.
Hitting each other with them or sticking them somewhere else and taking them, it's very disheartening after we spent all this time trying to get this area to us, and the people abuse it, they don't take it to heart. That's my feeling, I could be wrong, but that's how I feel, because I'm there every single day. I go by Arlington Street, in the middle of summer, we're there for 45 minutes, 2 guys picking up all the trash,
See,
and
And usually picks it up.
it's kind of, it's disheartening.
It is.
And so if they think that I can't staff enough to get Arlington Street, wait till Mary Dennison comes online.
That part.
Wait till Mary Dennison comes online, and they want it open from 8 AM till 10 every day, 7 days a week. We're gonna have to pick and choose, at a certain point, how we be able to distribute the staff.
A lot of
Especially
our,
on weekends. I don't have employees who wanna work weekends.
a lot of our neighbors in Arlington think that the lights are in there so they can stay longer at night.
Well, that's the biggest issue with lighting.
Yeah.
Once you have the lighting, now that light's different. That light goes in 360. Before, the other light was projected.
Yeah.
He said 360, so now it's gonna make it even easier to stay there longer.
Yeah.
And whether we have a curfew or not, doesn't matter.
But most of the kids there after 9 are teenagers, so it's complicated. It's not even adults, like over 20, it's just
Yeah.
kids between 14 and 17, 18 years old.
Can I ask you a quick question? Are we feeling like the park is, I don't want to say dangerous, but is it still a safe place? I mean, we're going into winter months, kids are at the skate parks. I remember in the summer riding my bikes, all over the place and seeing kids at the skate park a little bit later. But I know that there's a problem with, or a challenge with the trash and things like that. But are we feeling like this is going down a not so great path? I'm trying to get a sense for, Jose, I don't know if you can.
It's just a hangout place for teenagers. Till
Yeah.
your parents call you back in. And specifically Friday, Saturday night, you have them there until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So my neighbors, my friends that live around the park, is, what have you done to me? This is why I was so
Yeah.
upset. So I haven't, but
So you talk about the skate park, totally different. I wasn't for the skate park. I'll be honest with you, I thought it was gonna be a lot more problem. Those guys, I should say, that group police each other. They don't want it shut down, they don't want it ruined, so they take care of it inside. I mean, do I have graffiti? I have a little bit of graffiti, but not as bad as I've seen it in other places. But they police each other. They make sure that nobody screws it up for the rest of them. And I don't have that in Arlington. You don't have anybody at Arlington Street saying, oh, we wanna play foosball all the time. And, you guys gotta keep the place clean. I don't have that there.
I got you. Yeah.
Like a little community group of,
I get,
I don't want to say Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts.
Keep Framingham Beautiful doesn't wanna go over there because they're afraid.
Mm.
And
That's what I'm concerned about, I mean, above and beyond.
I'm also saying at 7 o'clock in the morning, you don't have to be afraid at Arlington Street. Maybe after, 6 or 7 o'clock at night, if it gets a little bit sketchy, but.
we don't have any, they're only kids, they're teenagers. They just verbally abusing people. It's not like they're dangerous to the public. It's not a dangerous place to be there at any time. It used to be, but not after this park opened. So it's just, you're gonna get, I had to call the police because I asked them to pick up trash and it's just not wanting to. So it's not that danger so that we don't go the wrong path on this conversation. It's just a lot of kids with really bad mouths. That's it. There's nothing dangerous about the park.
Well, I think some of the danger that I think KFB was referring to was more like needle-based and what they were finding, but that hasn't been as much of a problem there. We're finding it,
Have you guys
popping
found
it up in other parks.
We haven't found any needles
Yeah.
at Arlington Street. We found 40 at the downtown common.
Just the other day.
Yeah,
just
that's
this week.
right, yeah. So, but the park is being, the neighbor, I know the neighbors, as soon as they see someone that has a run, they're not there for the park, they usually send me a text, hey, there's someone here, and I just make it look like I'm walking my dog, and I say, hey, man, sorry.
But I think every park has its unique challenges
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
Butterworth, like we mentioned, it's dark in some areas and some of the pickleballers are, when they get out or finish up at 8, 9 o'clock or so. They feel like, that's a place where people go park, meet up, hang out, and then kind of go from there. So, we've had examples in a lot of our parks, unfortunately, where people go there, hang out, the unhoused, end up coming into a park. We had that person in the van that ended up over at the park over here. So, I think it's a struggle. We've had, mini encampments in some of the parks. We've had, just unhoused, sleeping on, either benches or on the picnic tables and stuff. These parks are a challenge right now, all over the city.
Our park is gonna get much better once the other one opens. I will tell you right now. Most people are gonna go down there. So that's gonna be your problem.
Yeah.
So that's why we are trying with our upper
That's
budget this
something-
year to gear up with personnel.
You definitely need to
Is
speak
there a
with,
way we can work with are there any local church groups or little sub-community groups that we could work with that you could get? If you get the kids incentivized young, then they'll realize, by the time I get there, I used to pick this up every Saturday or every Wednesday afternoon, or I don't know. It just
But this
seems
is
like.
There was a couple in there in the summer during the day though, but this is at night.
this is something that should come from our counselor, Leslie and Tracy should be able to get together and start working with something like
Like
this.
in the
because this is
community,
their-
yeah.
This is definitely there, but I think she has her hands up, by the way. I'm not sure if,
Leslie?
Thank you, Chair. It's really disturbing to hear so much negative around our neighborhood park. And I mean, I'm hearing a little bit from the director that this is like an ongoing thing around Framingham and how every park has its challenges. I mean, not that I'm happy to hear that, but it seemed like the conversation really just hit our park. And that's very, very concerning. I do walk by every day and I definitely don't feel unsafe there. I'm wondering if we're talking about the night hours when you have teenagers probably at all the parks. I'm not hearing any of the parks mentioned. There's Butterworth, there's Cushing. I can assure you, I grew up in the Caribbean, and at nights, teenagers hang out in parks. I think all of us know that. And I'm just not sure like where it's going with Arlington being such a hyper focus on the discussion on what Parks and Rec can do, right? Because I know you guys do your best and your hands are full and you have, like McGinty just said, you just have so much you can do and so much on hand. I'm not sure where the conversation is going, but I personally go there not to play. Obviously, I don't have little kids, but I walk by, I run there, and I haven't felt unsafe. So I just want to share that to the board that I haven't felt unsafe. Teenagers do a lot. Maybe we can have some kind of discussion around it. I'm the city councilor for there, so that really worries me that my park is like the center of discussion of being unsafe.
I think
uh,
that it was stated that it's not so much that it's unsafe, we're talking about the trash that's left behind,
It's
bottle
the
caps, it's more the
well, the
trash
trash,
issue.
I heard about the balloon thing. I didn't hear exactly what's going on with some water balloons on the pavement. I
There's
don't
a
know if
whole
it's.
bunch of different things that Chris has come into and Jose's aware of.
Leslie, one of the
Well,
things
I'm
that,
aware of it too. I'm the district councilor. I know Jose is a resident there, but I live less than a mile away, so I do see the park. I don't frequent the park because I don't have little kids, but I run there and I walk there almost every single day, every week. And I'm just sharing with you as a commission and the people in charge of the parks that that I haven't felt unsafe there. I know parents are
No,
concerned.
no, I think that's what we want to clarify, that nobody's talking about the fact that it's not safe. I mean, there was some concern maybe with needles earlier, but what we've been really talking about is the level of trash that this has to deal with. And that, Jose was talking about,
Yeah.
just more of the trash, because the safety thing, everybody's pretty comfortable, and it's more the noise from
So
the
there's
kids.
more trash at Arlington than
Anything
anywhere
you can do, Liz, to pull the community together and rally around this park and help,
Leslie, what we need
let the
is
community help
someone
us.
to go to the park around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, when most of the teenagers are there, and talk to them about the trash.
Well,
You know,
I definitely will not be comfortable doing that. I mean, if somebody,
that's what I'm trying to,
if
but
you
that's
want to
what,
facilitate conversation, I'm not going there by myself to speak to
why would you
teenagers.
not go by yourself if you
I
say
would
it's safe?
expect, I would expect more people, maybe some conversation around that. But you're not going to task me with that because I don't think that's my purview to do that, to go and just talk to teenagers. If I have a meeting in the park, maybe in the summer, I can host a meeting in there. I was concerned about doing that. I've done that at other parks because there are kids there. Maybe I can host a meeting there as a counselor. I've done Cushing Park, Farm Pond, and Roosevelt and Bates. Maybe that's the way to just meet people there. But personally, as myself, just going up to a bunch of teenagers to speak to them, absolutely not going to do that. I don't think
Leslie,
that's
I'd be
appropriate.
more than, Leslie, I'd be more than happy to go with you and talk to them. They're not criminals. They
I
just,
want to make sure there's
they
like
need-
more than
I'm
that
sorry.
there.
Give me a second for a minute, please. What they need to be talked to and say, hey, could you please pick up your trash so the park can stay open? It's not a problem. They're not bad people. They just need to be reminded of their responsibility. That's all.
So
They're not
my
adults,
way of
really.
facilitating that is I would have a meeting there, host a meeting,
A
and then
meeting is not gonna work, Leslie. A meeting is not gonna work. Parents don't know what the kids are doing at the park. You have to speak to them directly. That's
Kind
the
of like when
problem.
they show up, they're not gonna show up to a meeting.
They're not gonna show up for a meeting, I'm
I
telling you right
can
now.
host a meeting there and invite people to come to the meeting. I'm not putting myself in
The
that
people
position.
that
to
are
go and talk to
causing the
teenagers,
problem,
no.
Leslie, the people
No,
that are causing the problem are not gonna come to your meeting.
well,
You
I think if
understand?
I do it, there are other people at the park, right? That be at that meeting, right?
Yeah,
That will share that with the kids.
I mean,
Yeah.
just because
Yes.
I just want to be respectful of everybody's
And
time.
I also want to thank Mr. McGinty that the Paul, I just before I get off the call, that Paul Smith dedication bench that the Parks and Rec did was fantastic. And thank you for doing that for the community. It was a well done ceremony, and there were I think quite about 100 people there. So thank you for doing that. And it's a really good space. I think all of us can go to reflect on the work he's done. So thank you for doing. That's one positive for sure I can share. Thank you, Pax, for doing that, Pax and Rec.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Clerk, anything else?
I got nothing else. unless
Thank you.
got
Thank
questions.
you so very much.
Thank you,
I'll
Chris.
make a motion to accept the superintendent's report.
I will second it.
Bazaka, yes.
Olson, yes.
Hawk, yes.
Parade, yes.
Great, we're all set on that one. Now we're off and running to the director's report.
So that's a good segue. Just to clarify, it was a youth baseball event, and they actually fundraised to install the bench. We just helped them order the bench and get it installed for them. But the initiative was really through youth baseball. And it was a wonderful day. A lot of good stories about Bunkie and a lot of good memories. So
Nice.
it was nice to be part of that. Farmers market, just quickly, we've got a 3-year procurement process underway. And there was one person who submitted, and it was Bill Sell. So we'll be working with Bill for the next 3 years on the farmers
great.
market.
So it's been all
we're
set?
excited to do that. Yeah, we're just finalizing some of the details, but essentially, yeah, he was the only applicant, so it worked out pretty well. The Mary Dennison Park remediation, utility work, and project design. So they've shipped approximately 3,000 tons of contaminated soil so far on site. They'll continue to bring in new soil and try and rework the soil that's there. They've been able to reuse a lot of the soil that was already in the park. Unfortunately, it didn't rise to the level that it needed to be remediated. So that's good. That's saving the city a little bit of money. It's saving Avery Dennison a little bit of money. So at the end of the day, we'll have some reconciliation of that. They're probably, I would say, about 2/3 of the way done with the remediation of the soil itself. They've actually worked their way kind of all the way around. I don't know if you had a chance to kind of look in or look over a little bit and kind of see what's going on.
It's hard to see, even when I drive by in my van.
The best vantage point is the apartments looking over the brook, and you can kind of see really kind of what's going over there. So they're starting to do the foundations for a lot of the field work. They're starting to let put the soils where they need to be to settle. So it's starting to look like something. They're getting in there with some of the corridors, cleaning out those clean corridors for the utilities. So it's exciting. We can't wait till they get going with the actual park kind of building piece, which hopefully will start, in the next several months. So
What's the projected finishing on it?
it is, I would say, summer 26
Okay,
or so. Yeah.
so it's a way out,
You think more in the fall? Yeah,
Fall.
hopefully, yeah.
fall 26.
Okay. Yep. So, yeah, so it's moving along well, and they haven't run into any major obstacles, which has been good. Knock on wood. The other thing we're working on is the Chris Walsh Memorial Trail design. That's again going to be bid out, and we're looking at the MWRA piece, the gatehouse, working with CSX and MWRTA to make that connection. So that continues to move forward. So we'll be putting that out to bid, hopefully relatively soon. Washington Beach, Bishop Landscape Design, they've completed their concept design planning for now. They came out with the drawings that we've seen over here with a kind of a minimum plan or a base plan and then a maximum plan. So we'll be working with the neighbors, working with Liz and, developing a little bit of a strategy around what we want to see in the park. We have a list of a la carte items that we could put in there. So stay tuned. We'll be working with that as well. Splash pad feasibility study. So we did meet with Mike Moonen from CHA Consulting, and he's in the process of developing the conceptual designs for us over at Cushing Park. We'll be meeting with them later on this week. So that's going really well.
Is that the same group from Arlington?
Nope, different group. Yep. The group that was at Arlington is actually working on Temple for us as well. So they're going to help us with that. We need an update from them as well. They've done some background work, but we're due to have some other design work coming up. Let's see. Community garden, we are working with the a fence company to install the fence. Jose and I met with another garden group that's putting in the fence through the CPA, and that's going well. We hope to lock in some sort of construction company over the next month or two, get a contract with them, and then we'll figure out over the winter what the best time to try to construct everything. We hope to have it done by the beginning of next season. So, let me see. Oh, the Walnut Street Path. So I'll just mention briefly, although Allison is the project manager for that and probably is more well-versed than I on it, but if you go over there right now, you can see that they have a laydown area built up, and they've already started to clear trees and get in there and start to do some work on the actual path. They're really moving
Yeah,
along.
That's that right there.
That's that path right there. Yep. So you'll see some
Yeah.
activity, some construction equipment. They blocked it off to pedestrian traffic right now because it's not safe to do work. But I don't know if you have anything else to add to that. I know there was an update meeting today.
I went over there just to walk it with the guys out there. And they've been clearing debris through the stream channels, which is actually lowering, how much water is running to pass. So it's really cool to see how fast that debris is gonna start helping, like, in that area.
That's been a long time coming. I
To
think-
remind you about the garden, to mark and see if you guys can get that done for us, so we can get,
I'll talk to you.
please, thank you.
Building himself.
And that is really about it. We are working with the mayor and going to be working with the CFO on our operating budget coming up. So we've also are continuing to kind of work through the capital plan as well. So stay tuned. All of that will be rolled out to the city council, through the mayor first, and then we'll let you know where that stands. So,
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Any questions, Gemma or Jeannie? Any comments, questions? No? Would you like to make a motion? Make a motion? Anybody?
I can make a motion. I'll make a
Go
motion
for
to
it.
accept the director's report.
Thank you.
I will second it.
Awesome.
Bizarro, yes.
Sorry, Tolson, yes?
Podcast.
Pereira, yeah.
Excellent. Commissioners, anybody have anything to report? Jeannie, anything to report?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Okay. Tony,
No, I just wanted to say, as you know, one of the coaches at the high school, as we're winding down our season and, the amount of games that we played out here. Of course, myself knowing the challenges for Park and Rec, the field has always been in pristine condition, so
Thank you.
I just wanted to mention that.
thank you.
I just wanna publicly say thank you to Chris, because I know you work harder than anywhere else in the south side, so appreciate all you do for us. It's people don't know how much you gotta go through, my friend, so I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Very nice. Good. We're all good. Anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Awesome.
I will second it.
Wonderful.
Bizarro,
We are adjourned.
Bizarro.
Oh, Jeannie, I'm sorry.
Nope, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bizzuko?
She's
Go, Jeannie.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Oh, Bizarro, yes. Bizarro, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Pereira, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.